First album. The Bewitched Gang are hosting a brand new podcast called Starting Over, and Keavy and Linsday are here to tell us all about it. Good morning, ladies. Thank you for staying up late.
Yes,
Keavy,
good evening to you.
Good evening. Hey, congrats on the podcast. Tell us all about it.
Thank you very much. Well, you just said there it's called Starting Over, and it just seems fitting because obviously all of us have been completely locked down, haven't we, for a long time with this coronavirus. And we were thinking of new ways of being able to keep in touch with our fans because we can't do live shows at the moment. So we just decided to do the podcast and be real and honest about some things that we've been through in life that obviously our fans would have been too. And it was just important for us to connect in a real way like that with people.
Yeah, well, Linsday, I mean, as you mentioned there, Keavy, the band have had their fair share of ups and downs over the years. So are you going to open up about that on the podcast?
We do touch on it a little bit, but we actually did a documentary-style show over here about 8 years ago called The Big Reunion, which is actually when we first got back together after quite a long time apart. And we delved quite deeply into that side of things at that point. So when it came to doing this podcast, it wasn't really so much about that. It was more about experiences and things that we've been through in our lives individually, and how we cover subjects such as miscarriage, divorce, the loss of a loved one, financial loss. So these are all things where I've always felt like we've had to kind of pick ourselves up and start over in a sense in our lives. So we wanted to kind of share that with everybody, and if not to kind of bring comfort to people, to just, I suppose, put the message out there that you're not alone in what you go through. Sometimes, we may be kind of out there seeming like we have these hits and doing all these amazing things, but we're still human and we still go through the same sorts of things that other people go through. So I guess we just wanted to share.
Warts and all,
great.
raw and honest. We love that. Speaking of your hits, I mean, your track C'est la vie became a huge anthem in 1998 and has had everybody in our studio in the office singing along today. What's it like looking back and celebrating that song?
I think it's fantastic. Like when we play it on shows now, it's such a great song to have because, like you said, I think whether you like it or not, you know every word and you just start singing and you start jigging. And it's such an amazing experience to watch that even 22 years later, how it makes people, I think, go back to their childhood self and have such a great time. But we were shocked at the time, weren't we, Linz? It was just like...
You haven't aged a day.
They said you're number one. It was like, we're what?
That is amazing. What do you mean if you like it or not? Everyone loves that song. Linsday, you were in Oz a couple of years ago on a 90s band reunion alongside Atomic Kitten. I mean, any plans to tour again in the future?
When you can.
Well, actually, I wasn't there on that tour personally because I was pregnant.
Oh, so you've got to come on the next one.
I couldn't come over, so we have to come out there and tour again because I really want to go. We don't have any solid plans at the moment. Everything is really tricky at the moment because, I mean, our industry was essentially shut down over the past year. Yeah. All our gigs were cancelled. New gigs weren't getting booked in. And we don't really know. Things are so up in the air. We don't really know what's happening with the live entertainment world. So we're kind of on tenterhooks, but we'd love to, obviously, go on tour and we'd love to come across them.
Yeah, Keavy, you're all parents now and you live in different parts of the UK. Thank goodness for the internet, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank goodness for the internet. It's tricky balancing it all. I think our poor manager, it's like, can you do this? It's like, okay, we'll get back to you. We have to call nannies and helpers and do all in schools and everything. Yeah. But we do manage to make it work in our own way. And it's so lovely to share our journey together again. And it's so lovely to share it as mothers as well. Linz and I are kind of new mums and Edel and Sinead are the older mums of older kids. So we're kind of split. We've been able to share where we're at as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're the new mums, but we're doing the late night interview.
I know, it's like, how come we're the ones who are up this time?
We'll let you go back to bed
anyway
now.
with the kids, right?
Go back to bed. The Bewitched podcast, Starting Over, is now available on all streaming platforms. Thank you so much.
Thanks, ladies. Great to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Go to sleep now.